Hey guys, it's Taylor from Innerbloom Sisterhood, and I'm here with your astrology report for the guidance that you need for the Scorpio full moon coming on May 7th in a couple days on Thursday. We're going to be ceremonying together as we always do virtually in the Sisterhood, but I want to show you today how you can look at your own birth chart. And I'm also going to be using a reflection question that you can use as well for free, even if you're not in the Sisterhood, because I want you to have the best full moon ever, okay? So this is my service to you. You do not have to make arts and crafts like this, but let's be honest, it's fun. So I can't take complete credit for this idea, although the way I'm using it and using it to show you what part of your life and what part of your birth chart this Scorpio full moon is going to illuminate for you. I got the original idea for this baby that anyone can make from Alyssa Trahan and her YouTube channel for astrology. It's freaking awesome. So I have here all of the signs of the zodiac, and this is how I'm going to show you what your birth chart might look like for this full moon. Now, before I get into that, when we talk about full moons, we want to ask ourselves, what is this period of time inviting me to illuminate about what I need to let go of in my life? Okay? And so sometimes when we're not in the full moon period, we're really focused on goals and we're really focused on doing and the action, and we don't really stop and look around and go, okay, I've manifested all of this. I've manifested positives, I've manifested negatives, I've manifested excuses, I've manifested limitless possibilities. And so when we actually look around and we're grateful for where we are, this is what we do on full moon nights. We can then go, okay, what can I let go of and release and shed a skin of in order to transform more, in order to grow into my next phase? So that is what we are doing with this reflection question. So I am going to help you fill out this reflection question in a little bit, but first we need to understand what's going on here. So I have all the signs of the zodiac here. All of my blues are water signs. All of my oranges are air signs. All of my reds are the fire signs, so near and dear to my heart. And then all the greens are the earth signs. And then we have this baby, okay? This is the key. How do you find out where the Scorpio full moon is illuminating your chart? What is it asking you to reflect on, maybe needing to let go of something? So in astrology, we have the houses. And I won't go into a long explanation, I promise, because this video is going to be short for IGTV. So we have the houses, and we have 12 areas of life that any transit, like a full moon or a new moon or any planet in any sign, can be allowing us to take a look at, like underneath a microscope or a magnifying glass. So the 12 are briefly denoted here, and I just put the word next to each house number that's going to remind me when I'm explaining this video what each house means, and it's very simple. However, for example, the first house, I just have written here self, the relationship to self. But this can mean body image, sense of identity. This can mean your physicality and the way you show up in the world. So just know I'm working with a really short note version so that I can just help you get this concise information. Because honestly, astrology can seem really complicated, but it's actually very simple. Just like everything in life, it's simple. So here we go. You want to find, and this is what your birth chart looks like, by the way. So it's not just like my arts and crafts project. This is what your birth chart looks like. So you might have Scorpio. You're going to find the blue Scorpio sign in your birth chart. And then you are going to see where it lands in the house system. So you might have your Scorpio down here in house 4 of the home. And I'll go over what that means for your reflection question. But I need you to find it first. So you need to pause this video, get your birth chart, and then I want you to know, okay, my Scorpio sign in my birth chart sits in maybe the 6th house. And so actually it would look like this on your birth chart. Okay? So pause this and find it, and then we can continue. So you are going to be working with this reflection question. And this is fill in the blank Mad Lib style. So I'm gonna fill it in with you, and you can get out a pen and paper while you're at it. So it's going to say the full moon in the sign of what? Scorpio. You with me? The full moon in the sign of Scorpio illuminates my blank house. So what house, we need a number, does the Scorpio sign fall in for you? So maybe your birth chart looks like this, and it's actually the 7th house of relationships. Ding, 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 you would be, I don't know, lucky or maybe not so lucky. That's a really loaded house. Illuminates my, let's say, 7th house of relationships. So I'm going to help you know what is the term for your house. I'm just going to briefly go over them. If your sign of Scorpio, let's go all the way back to the beginning. If your sign of Scorpio is over here, let me line up my lines. If your sign of Scorpio is over here, it's the 1st house of self. So you're just gonna write, illuminates my 1st house of self. If it's down 1, that's gonna be the 2nd house of stuff. And what I mean by that is material stuff. So you can put wealth, finances, material possessions. That's going to be determined by you. What word resonates with you the most? If it's down here, it will be in your Scorpio in the 3rd house of communicating. All right, so this is communicating your worth, communicating your desires, communicating your story, communicating with people in a way where you're using your logical brain. All right, or maybe it's going to be right on the bottom of your birth chart, and it's going to be in the 4th house of home and nurturing and the feminine and the mother. Okay, again, you're just going to fill these in right here. Scorpio may be in your 5th house of expression. Expression of love, expression of joy, expression of fun, expression of courage. Maybe it's going to be in the 6th house of health and wellness and daily routines. Maybe it'll be in the 7th house of relationships, as we've already said. Maybe it will be it will look like this. It'll be towards the top now. These are all the upper houses. Maybe it will be in the 8th house of transformation. That would be very cool. That's where mine is. You can have it in the 9th house of explore. So I call that the explore house because it's exploring higher meaning, exploring higher spirituality, exploring higher education, exploring foreign lands, exploring cultures and languages. It's about branching out. It could be right at the top in your career house, number 10. It could be the rebellion house of number 11. That's rebelling using technology, new innovation, pushing the envelope with new ideas, and being unique, like rebelling in the way of being yourself, which is the ultimate rebellion. Or lastly, it could be in the 12th house of the subconscious, of dreams, of the bridge between heaven and earth, the angels. This is a very fun house, but it is about bringing the subconscious realms, the metaphysical realms into your life. Okay? So those are the key words that you are going to use for your fill in the blank. Now the last part is the reflection. This full moon invites me to reflect on what? To reflect on what I'd like to release. So the fill in the blank for this one is going to be release because we have full moon. If I was doing a new moon, it would be what I would like to grow. But today and on Thursday night, it's going to be what I would like to release in my current what? So you have the house number. Let's say it's the 7th house of relationships. You have the key word as well. And then it's asking you what you need to release in my current what. So if it was the 7th house of relationships, it would be what I need to release in my current belief system about relationships, my current blockages to relationships, my current growth in relationships. However it's going for you, it's going to be connected to relationships. If this is, let's say, the 8th house of transformation, it's going to ask me to reflect on what I'd like to release in my current transformation process, in my current growth process, in my current inner bloom. Let's do one more for an example. Let's say this is in your 10th house. This full moon in the sign of Scorpio illuminates my 10th house of career. This invites me to reflect on what I'd like to release, let go of, shed, in my current job, in my current business, in my current way of making income. Okay? So that is the reflection question. I will put that in the description of this video. If you would like to actually go into reflecting on that, not just reflecting, but also actually releasing through meditative and transformative practices in a circle of women, badass women, might I add, we want you to come to the full moon ceremony. It's free if it's your first ceremony. All you have to do is sign up for a free trial that gets you in the sisterhood in our private app. Every access that every paying member has for a free trial for 2 weeks, including this lunar ceremony. So with the full moon in Scorpio, we're going to be diving deep underneath the surface, and I'm going to be leading, I'm going to be taking you down into the layers of what Scorpio is best at, which is deriving meaning from the underworld, from the roots below the surface, so that we can bring shadows to the light. If you're into shadow work right now, you need to come with us on this journey for the full moon in Scorpio. It's going to be truly, truly unforgettable and super transformative. I hope to see you there. Please DM me any questions and if you want the link to join the ceremony. And I'm happy to give you the full invitation.